To the first of our panellists. He's a marine ecologist by background. He's worked in a number of UK government ministries, including the Cabinet Office. He now serves as Deputy Chief Scientific Advisor at the Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs in London. Would you please welcome Dr. Miles Parker.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is quite a sight to greet you fresh off the sleeper from London. As Keith says, my day job is Deputy Chief Scientific Advisor at DEFRA, and that means I'm responsible there for our strategic investment in evidence gathering, in research, in monitoring, data gathering of all sorts. In that capacity, among other things, I represent DEFRA on the Living with Environmental Change programme. This is a £10 billion partnership between government departments, research councils, industry and others addressing the key environmental issues of today, and I chair its delivery group. More recently, I've had the great pleasure and indeed the excitement of taking on the role of the chair of the UK Location Council, which among other things is responsible for the implementation of Inspire in the UK. Something of a new area for me, but and gives me a most exciting learning curve, but a very exciting place to be, I think, at this point. I mention these three roles because through them I've been fortunate enough to observe at first hand how the stimulation of minds, creative thought and intelligent investment can help us deliver the Europe 2020 priorities on innovation and smart growth. The increasing importance of both economic and environmental sustainability was a major theme of the white paper issued by our Secretary of State recently, entitled The Natural Choice and subtitled Securing the Value of Nature. It places a strong emphasis on the activities needed to grow a green economy and improve education in order to achieve those environmentally and socially sustainable economic growth goals. Natural choice places the value of nature at the centre of the choices we make about economic growth and personal well-being. And these choices are empowered with knowledge derived from data, observation and research, which enabled us to produce recently the UK's National Ecosystem Assessment. This was a global first in attempting to value the ecosystem services of a single country, and it enables us to put economic decisions firmly in a context of valuing into the long term the ecosystem services we have at hand. Globally, this is just as important. We have only to think of the UN climate change negotiations and the International Convention on Biodiversity, where we made major strides at Nagoya this year, to realize just how important it is for decision makers at the global level to have access to a shared body of evidence and a shared understanding of its significance. Within DEFRA, our store of data is indeed one of our most valuable assets. Everything we do is underpinned by the information that has been gathered over decades and is still being gathered now, whether the statistics we collect on farm animal and plant diseases, on the risks of flooding, on biodiversity, on land and sea. These are all data that are essential to our work, all essential to making better policy decisions, and they're all underpinned by this common thread of location. But this is, as we know, an age of austerity. The test for everything we do is more and more financial. So the key question for us is, does the better use of data and geographical information save money? And the evidence is that it does, a great deal of it. I'd like to echo here Gesche Smith's comments yesterday at the panel session on resource efficiency. One really good example was the study done by the Local Government Association, which established that their output increased by over £230 million in 2009 as a result of accumulated productivity benefits from using geospatial applications effectively. within our own network of delivery agencies. For example, our Environment Agency have estimated that they can realise £5 million a year in benefits from using location data through productivity gains, cost avoidance, data sharing, and revenue from commercial reuse of geographic data. And this really is the key vision of Inspire, not just of compiling ever greater data sets and supporting more and more geospatial applications, but ensuring that data held by one provider can be reused by others with a shared understanding of its quality and value. And in the UK, we're supporting this vision through our UK location strategy, creating, for example, a single portal to access data through data.gov.uk, and funding research into new technologies such as linked data. Improving education awareness is a key element of the strategy. We want people to be more aware of the value of GI and its uses and applications. The phrase "a picture says 1,000 words" is often quoted, and in this context it's been estimated that maps are used in a fifth of all communications to emphasise particular points. The UK has a localism agenda under this government, and the increased support that it gives for cooperatives, charities and social enterprises is likely to see a yet further increase of the use of maps for local purposes, and that's going to need ever more innovative visualization techniques. To give you a simple but illustrative example of the expanding use that map data is put to, our British Trust for Conservation Volunteers has what it calls its Carbon Army, and there's a very good website. There, a simple map is currently used to locate and display volunteer opportunities in the local trust offices, but they're looking to expand that offer to include interactive mapping as a tool to show the positive impact of their work programmes and catalyse community involvement. And it's organisations such as the British Trust for Conservation Volunteers that will depend on the publication of Inspire and location data to construct such rich maps and use them effectively. So, just to conclude, the priorities in Europe 2020 on innovation and smart growth underpin the work of all of us as public servants, but are explicitly addressed in the UK through investment in research and world-class science. And here I'd instance the really remarkable new science that's gone into the National Ecosystems Assessment, through investment in innovation, and I'm thinking of such advancing technology as using linked data as a method of delivering phase 2 of Inspire, and investment in the digital society through a holistic approach to data that underpins the society of today and the inspiration for tomorrow. Thank you.